This week's project was finishing out the repair on the roof where the antenna holes were with body filler, primer. I used a sander, a DA sander, to smooth out and feather edge the paint, and then use self-etching primer on the roof. All right, we are back on the Crown Vic. I got the holes I wanted welded up. I need to sand a little bit more here with the 220. That's a little coarse. Anyways, I got that done. I'm leaving those two holes. This hole here will be for the wiring for the light bar. That one there will be for the antenna. Cleaning up some of the scratches and stuff on the car. I have a pint of the correct color code. I did not have it matched, so there's a decent chance this won't be 100% accurate, but the car's also been repainted at least once, and you can see it right here. It had the original white, maybe a primer, and then the new white. Here's another good example. The original gray, white again. And you can actually see the two different color whites. This is a pretty good one for a different color white. That's the original white. This one out here is the new white. So we shall see how it all looks when it's done. That was that big hole, like 2.5 inch. That was an antenna hole. They've all been welded up. I have duct tape from the underside on those two to keep the sandpaper and paint from going underneath into the new interior, which I did not film putting the new carpet in or the back seat, but as soon as this thing gets back out of the garage, we shall see how this all looks. So I thought I had primer filler. I don't think I do. Luckily, I don't think it's all that necessary, with the exception of that side over there, which I'm going to sand a little bit more right there. It all feels pretty good at 220 grit. So I do have some primer. The other problem is I was noticing is as more I sanded, the original paint wants to flake right off. So I'm going to use the self-etching primer, at least here in this corner, probably all of it, just to make sure I get a good bite to the metal this time. Primer is done. Doesn't look too bad. I might be able to just sand it down with 320 and paint, which is my goal. You can see body's not in the best of shape, so I'm definitely not spending 100 hours trying to make this a straight body. If this were a show car, I would have sanded this entire section. I sanded where I thought the primer was going to go, but I would have sanded this entire section. I'd have put a really thick primer filler on here, which probably in the gray box way up there, or the gray bucket. Nice thick coat. Let it dry for 2 or 3 days. Put a guide coat on, which is kind of splotchy black paint, kind of like, so you'd have a bunch of spots on it. And you sand it with a block. And what that does is it shows you your highs and your lows, and you can, sand accordingly to make it a really nice flat finish. This car does not need that. Neither would this Jeep. I actually haven't had to do that since I did a black, what the hell was that? A black Blazer years ago. And I hate doing black. But that's the only way to do black. Otherwise, black shows everything. White, at least, just ignores a lot of it, which is really nice. Alright, I sanded it down, the green primer, with 320, and I basically did almost all the roof. I sprayed it one more time with a red primer that has anti-rust capabilities. It's the same primer that's actually on all this. So, should work out pretty well. I think by the time it dries, which is pretty cold in here, it should be sand with 320 and paint. It came out pretty good. There was a little low spot, and I think you can kind of see it right there. But light bar is going to go right over it. So once I sand it again, I'll block that section just to see if I can get rid of that low spot. But I'm not 100% worried about it. So tomorrow I have some stuff to do, so I may not get to it tomorrow. But the next time I work on it, I'll sand it with 320, maybe wet sand it with 400 because I got 400. Then I'll wrap up the back, the doors, and the hood and paint her down. But I think she's about ready to get where she needs to get. And then once that's done, I'll put the light bar on it. I have the, I don't know what you call it. I have the thing. I have the grommet. I think they call it a tension relief connector that goes into there, 1-inch hole, has a rubber squeezy thing on it to keep out the water. Anyways, I have that. So I'll have that for the wiring for the light bar. I'll put the antenna back there, headliner, plastics, and finish up the inside. Alright, the Crown Vic is ready for paint. This couldn't be any cruder. There's a lot I should be doing different, but this will do exactly what I want it to do. I got the van exhausting the fumes out. I have my respirator right there. I got the paint mixed. I know somewhere there's a big bag of filters, and I can't find it to save my life. I have found 3 spray guns, but I have not found, unless that's it, I found filters. Okay, that crisis is averted. So I will have filters. So I'm gonna use this gun here, toss my mask on. I'm gonna put my first coat is just gonna be over the red, because that's probably gonna take 2 to 3 coats, and then I'll do probably 2 over the entire top.
First coat of white base coat, and it does not seem to be bleeding through. I'm not sure when that actually started.
Well, I obviously should have put one more coat of white on, because I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. And I can see those. I definitely did not see it until I put the clear coat on. But damn. Well, on the bright side, from here, that's a little bit behind that, a little bit behind that. So this whole section gets covered by the light bar. So I don't think it's going to be that noticeable. I'm definitely not going to stop what I'm doing and finish. You can kind of see that one there too. I'm hoping it'll look good enough, and I think it will. One of the other reasons obviously I did this was to cover the holes. The holes are covered. Can't even see where it was, so that's nice. So I'm gonna give it, god damn, maybe another 10 minutes, and I'll put my second coat of clear coat on. The other reason I'm not gonna stop now is it's already mixed. It's in there. So run with it, right? This is with the second coat of clear coat. You can definitely see the red bleeding through. It will just be what it is. Like, subscribe, and comment.